Alright, so I'm just enjoying my lunch break. I got my $6 biggie bag, and I'm scrolling through MMA Twitter because I ain't got nothing else to do. And upon opening Twitter, the first thing I see is this on my For You page. I don't know how to feel about Dan Hooker's allegations here, right? Because apparently Dan Hooker likes to take it up the hoo-ha, all right? He goes both ways in a relationship. And disregarding that, though, because at the end of the day, do I really care if Dan Hooker turned out to be homosexual? Not really, because here on this channel, we're very inclusive. All right, my opinions about Dan Hooker are not really going to change just because he likes dudes as well. All right, that being said, though, the allegations I'm about to show you guys, there's a lot to unpack here, all right, because this former stripper, who was allegedly Dan Hooker's side chick, she said a lot, right? She has said a lot of things. Like, I can't even believe it, all right? But apparently it's true, according to her, all right? I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot throughout this entire video. And for now, though, we're going to break down her 2-minute and 49-second rant regarding her experience with Dan Hooker, all right? Now, if you guys haven't seen this video, I highly recommend you to watch it on your own first, all right? Because I've seen this multiple times, and I'm going to give my opinions on it. Overall, I'm going to say I'm kind of frustrated with the words she uses throughout this entire video, and you guys will know the word that she uses that kind of irritates me in a way because it just doesn't make any sense, all right? But I'm going to play this for now, and you guys can have a listen.
What a lot of people are not understanding here is that, yes, he is married. And when I met him, I was working in the booty club. He was just like a client.
So before we go on, though, I need to feel like we need to establish this, all right? So this girl is a prostitute, and she was working at a strip club that Dan Hooker attended. And Dan Hooker, although having a wife and a kid, he just wanted to go to a strip club and then met his side piece in this bitch that we see right here. All right, I feel like we need to establish this because she uses a particular word that I just don't think accurately describes the situation we have right now.
At the time, this was like 2023. And he took me out the club, Captain Save a Hoe, right? Loves that shit. He loves a OF girl. He loves a ripper. He loves Captain Save a Hoe. So yeah, he started paying for my life completely and utterly, had all his cards on my Apple Pay, paid for my rent in 2 different countries, like everything. I tried to leave this man so many fucking times, but he'd always get me back with something shiny and new. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new...
All right. Can you repeat that one more time?
Every time he cheated on me, he'd...
Okay, so this is basically what I'm going to be harping on throughout this entire footage, all right? I don't know how this works, all right, but I don't think Dan Hooker's cheating on you specifically, all right? Because Dan Hooker, I feel like, clearly established the fact that you are the side piece. He already has a wife and a kid at home. He does not need a homewrecker to come in and ruin his life, all right? So you are the side piece that he goes to in case he wants to fuck somebody, all right? That's all you are, right? He's not cheating on you. All right, he's cheating on his wife with you, right? And at the end of the day, you are nothing more than a fuck toy to him.
He'd buy me a new bag. So yes, he played up a lot, to the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list. Every time he cheated on me, right?
Again, how is he cheating on you? All right, you are the homewrecker in this situation. How is he cheating on you? All right, again, he has a wife and kid at home. He is cheating on his wife, not you, because you do not have the ring.
And I kind of started looking on his phone every time, like trying to find a new bitch, a new problem so I could get a new bag, right?
Yeah, that sounds very evil to do, all right? Like, disregarding everything, like, whether or not Dan Hooker actually, like, cheated on her on top of that or not, I feel like going through someone's phone just to find more problems, I feel like that's a very stressful way to live, right? So, if Dan Hooker dumped you, I'm just gonna say it's a good job for him.
Until I found out that it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed because, like, no. And then
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's 2026, girl. All right, you can't be coming out here saying all those homophobic things. All right, we're very inclusive in this community, especially in Australia out there. All right, so I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we need a counselor for being homophobic in this situation.
I got abused from that, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, he was married. Oh, is married, and me and her get along fine. Like, it's fine. It's like a lot of people, you don't really know this, but pretty much every single, there's a lot of fucking guys that if they have money and status, they'll be married, and then they'll have like their girlfriend.
Okay, so I don't even know whether that's true or not. You know, I'm just a broke kid at the end of the day. That being said, though, what you are basically describing is a polygamous relationship, right? And if you look up the word polygamous on the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's basically saying having more than one mate at one time. So, by that definition, how is Dan Hooker cheating on you? All right, because you're clearly open to having one or more partner for your partner. So clearly he's not the one cheating on you in this situation.
All right. It's just the way of life, and like it's not a way of life I would ever do again. Learn.
I mean, you shouldn't. And you know what's the weird part about this is, like, she never thought that this is a bad thing to do. You know, it only backfired on her when she realized that Dan Hooker might be bi, allegedly. And for some reason, though, you know, when it was just her and the wife, you know, she's all for it. Because at the end of the day, Dan Hooker, you know, he's her sugar daddy.
My lesson. Shit, if you're married, never hit me up. Ever. I'm never doing that again. And also, it was a lot of convincing for me to even get to that position of dating. I was 22 when I met him. He was 34. And, like, having someone, like, pay all this money and, like, get you out of, like, what you were doing for work and, like, all these things. Like, the manipulation tactics were gorgeous, amazing, stunning. He ate that up.
To be fair, though, you were working as a prostitute, all right? Because, like, let's say Dan Hooker wasn't doing that. Would it not be a crazy thing to say that somebody else would? I'm just saying, like, you worked as a stripper for a reason.
But, yeah, I would not recommend that. And if you want to say, oh, you were just a side piece, yes and no. But I don't.
You are. Like, how is it that you're not the side piece? I'm having a hard time understanding this. Like you said, you met him as in a strip club where you were working at. I just don't understand these dumb broads sometimes, but yeah, carry on.
One thing that excuses the abuse and everything that I had to go through just because of the way that the relationship is set up. Like,
okay, so I remember earlier, I don't exactly know the timestamp to that, but I remember you saying that you weren't gonna get into the abuse. Now, here you are getting into the abuse literally like 1 minute later.
I don't know if you guys have traveled much around the world, but in like Muslim cultures, you can have like 3 wives. In Vietnam, 3 wives. Like, if you have enough.
Yes, that's called a polygamous relationship. All right.
Money, you can have what you want. All right. And honestly, he's a fucking handful. Like, if I would hate to date him without him being married, because bitch, 24/7. No. And also, I want to mention, there was a girl before me. He dated a girl for 3 years before me and played the fuck up on her too. And a girl before that. And now there's another girl after. Like, it's like, he is a piece of shit. I took what I could out of the situation by cheating on me with a man, kidnapping me.
Wait. Well, hold up. Kidnapping. Hold up.
I took what I could out of the situation by cheating on me with a man, kidnapping me.
Okay, I don't remember that part, but what the fuck? Again, how is he cheating on you? You are the side piece, all right? I feel like I can't stress that enough, all right? You are the homewrecker that he's cheating on his wife with. You are not the main bitch. You do not have the ring. You are not wifey material. All right? Shut the fuck up, you dumb broad. All right, y'all. So the audio kind of got fucked up for this second part. All right, so I'm just recording this right before I'm heading out to work. But basically, Dan Hooker, he's making light of this situation, and let's just say, I can't really tell whether this is true or not, all right? Because all he's doing here is just saying what I miss with the laughing emoji, and also with the fact that he posted on his Instagram earlier, me holding my family close after my side chick tried to tear us apart. Again, like, maybe him cheating on dudes is true, but at the end of the day, this doesn't really prove anything. And also, I'm going to go over some of the stories that Keek Grace, the woman that was basically talking about Dan Hooker, she posted a bunch of freaky texts that Dan Hooker has been allegedly texting to other men. All right, I can't verify whether any of this is true or not, but if this is true, all right, Dan Hooker,
freaky ass nigga.
But basically, the girl's been posting a bunch of shit, you know, like alleged texts that Dan Hooker sent to other dudes. You also have Dan Hooker's search history on Reddit, you know, gays, femboys, pegging, just to name a couple. Overall, not the search history of a straight man, I'll say, but, you know, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, YouTube administration. All right, but the point I'm trying to get is, if you guys want to check this out, you know, feel free to look up Keek Grace on Instagram, or just search this up on your own on Twitter. But either way, all right, this is not, like, factual, all right? I just want to make this abundantly clear. This is not something that I'm going to automatically use in order to say that Dan Hooker is secretly a closeted homosexual. And even if he is, I'm going to just say right now, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, all right? It's 2026. You know, we need to be inclusive, all right? And as long as Dan Hooker ain't beating his wife up and overall being a nuisance to society, I don't see what the problem is with Dan Hooker just, you know, taking it both ways, if you will. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe so we can monetize this channel. But otherwise, leave any comments down below for video suggestions you have for me, as well as what you think about the situation with Dan Hooker, alright? Because I'm more shocked than anything, alright? Because I thought that this was going to be something from Israel Adesanya, alright? Or John Jones. Like, if one of those two had a crazy story like this, you know, I would believe it. But Dan Hooker, not the first guy I'd expect something like this to come out from. Alright, but regardless though, like and subscribe. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for UFC Fight Night, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Peace.